Hey, what up everyone, this is Mondo all day, back with another video, and in this video I'll be going over Ultron Raid. I'll be going and give you guys some pointers and tips as far as how to play with the Ultron Raid. It's fairly simple, but I figured I'd make a video as far as showing some of you guys how to play Ultron and be kind of, give you some tips and pointers and so forth. So let's get right into it. And yeah, so the first thing you want to do is, well, you don't have to, but I would just go into the party tab section and just ask to be invited for the Ultron. Here it is right here. And once you have a party, you don't have to, but once you're in a party, all you do is, once you're in a party ready to go, everyone's ready, queue yourself in, and let's go right into it. So you don't have to be in a party. It's not like Limbo where it's always good to be in the party. This you can just do it, without being in a party, but it's always good to have it. That way, if the run goes very well, you can do it again, but you don't have to. But if you want to, you're more than welcome to. So yeah, so again, I'm just going to show you some tips and pointers as far as how to play, not how to play, but how to pass Ultron Raid. It's fairly simple. So what you want to do throughout the map, you see the exclamation points, you want to go to them, and you want to defeat the shield, and then you defeat the shield, and then defeat this Ultron, and then you get these white little things right here, and you keep doing that throughout the whole way. Here's another one right here. So there's another exclamation point, there's a shield, defeat the shield, and then defeat this Goldtron. Here. And then you get these, and then you have a time limit of 5 minutes to get, to get 30,000 of those things. Each one of those things gives you about 100. Each one of those like white orbs give you about 100. Now, another advice I would give is there's two places to get a lot of these white orbs. One of them is actually right here, and I'll show you what you have to do. It's fairly easy, but it's right here in the park, and as well as and I'll show you what I mean. Hopefully I get it this time, but it's right here in the park, and it's right in the center of this whole entire, Manhattan. Basically, if you kill all the enemies right here in the park, you get a bunch of those white orbs, and not many people know about that. Let's see if I can get it this time. Usually you do get it, even though I don't. This time I'm not getting it this time. No, it's all good. But sometimes you get a bunch over. I noticed that I get a bunch of them. But anyways. So that's one of the first things you do in this first wave is just go to the exclamation point and just try to get to as many. Now, I've been playing this for quite a while, so I'm kind of familiar in terms of how we're going to do. We're going to do good right now. But, sorry, it's kind of hard to play and like, okay, there we go. That's easy. Again, go to exclamation points, go to the shield, remove the shield, and then kill this guy right here. First thing you do. There you go, and you get those white orbs. Now the way you can tell if it's gonna be a good turnout is if you hit the 2.5 minute mark. Right now it's 2:55, 2:54. But if you hit the 2.5 minute mark and you barely have 15,000, it's a kind of a sign that it might not be a good. It's gonna be long of a raid. I don't know why, but that's kind of like the mark that I usually know. And then if we get 15,000 of those white orbs and we hit the 2.5 mark right now, then that's not a good sign. Right now we're at 22,000, so that's good. We're doing good right now. Oops, wrong section. There we go. Now it's always good to defeat these guys as well too. Because sometimes, there you go, see? We get more orbs here. Sorry, it's kind of hard to, like, play and... There you go. Sorry, so, it's always good to, even though, like, if you destroy some of these non-exclamation marks, you still get white orbs, not a whole lot, though. You might get 2, maybe 3, but majority of the time, if you go for the white, if you go for exclamation points, you get majority of the white orbs. So right now we got gold. Now it's the second wave. Second wave is it's fairly simple. I can't control this. It's fairly simple. So what you do is you go to the designated area, and from there you have to activate the EMP, and you have a time frame. So this can be a little tricky, but perfect. This is a perfect spot. But I'm going to show you guys kind of how I usually play Ultron. It's pretty simple. What you want to do is kind of split up the section. What I mean by that is someone be on the top, like for instance I'm on the bottom, so I'm here. Someone be on the bottom, someone be on the top, someone on the side, and just literally split it up. And then you have your like your main, not a main, but like a tank in the middle, and just kind of helping each other out. That's usually how I play. Usually when I play in the bottom. But anyways, okay. Once it's that, you activate it, and then you have 2.5 minutes, and there's a percentage on the top. So what you have to do, you have to get 100% within 2.5 minutes. It's fairly easy, but again, it can sometimes, there's like a little glitch on this game for some reason. So one of the things you can do, and for me, luckily I have pick Hawkeye, is that he does a lot of area damage to his signature, so which is always a good thing. Because in case you're losing, you can always place the signature right where the EMP's at, and then any enemies around that area, kind of like this. Not bad timing, but I figured to show you guys. Kind of like that. You see how the EMP's getting protected? Okay, this guy. But we're doing good right now. We're at 50%. Not the best, but it'll be good. First, again, it's kind of hard to give you guys some tips and pointers while I'm playing and recording. So. Come on. Okay. We're 70%, so right, okay. And notice another tip too. When you hit the 80 mark, 80%, that's when it gets a little harder. So just be aware of that. It gets a little harder. So my advice is, again, try to, yeah, especially in the 90s, it gets a little harder. Sometimes it's kind of a glitch where it just kicks you out and it goes back down to like 50%. It's kind of a weird glitch, but yeah. So again, just to kind of go over, usually split it. Have someone on the bottom, top, left, right, and then someone kind of like a tank or center, and just kind of helping each other out. And that's that. Once you pass that, then the next portion is fairly easy. It's fairly easy. Just attacks these. You have about 4.5 minutes, something like that, to defeat 5 of these Iron Legions. Be careful. The first one's really easy. Just gotta be careful because of those missiles that he dropped. This one's easy too. It just does a lot of flames, so be careful with the flames. The hardest one is this one right here. I can't control this damn thing. This one right here. Because when he goes into a shield and he does like a weird shield burst where it does a lot of damage. So be careful. Hopefully he shows it right now, watch. So you have to do attack as much as you can. As fast as you can. Because if he goes into a shield, you can't do any damage. And the damage that he does when he's in the shield is quite substantial, so keep that in mind. This one's fairly easy, just stay away. The next one is fairly easy. Wow, we're doing pretty good right now. This one's fairly easy, just attack. So again, it's fairly easy. You gotta understand it. This is fairly easy. You don't have to worry about the lasers. They do damage, but not so much. Unless you have a really weak character, then I guess be careful. But you're fine. Now here's the trick to this. Okay, this is the last boss. This is Ultron. So here's a little tip. Do not. There is a time limit. I believe it's like 2 minutes. 2 minutes 15 seconds. I'm not too sure. 2 minutes 10 seconds. What you want to do is activate your signature. Alright. You want to activate your signature before it hits the 135 mark. So right now it's at 150, 149. you want to activate signature again before the 130, 134, because usually once it hits around 130, 135-ish, like time left, he goes up in the air and you can't do any damage. So what I've seen people do is that they activate signatures like right now, and then they're doing damage to signature, and then he goes up in the air like where it is right now, and you're just kind of wasting your time doing it. So again, try to activate the signature before the 135 mark, 1 minute and 35 seconds left, or activate signature right after he comes down like right now. Dr. Doom just did it right now. That'd be the perfect timing, but I've seen people do it where they activate it at the 120, 130 mark, and then they're doing some damage with the ultimate power, and then Ultron goes up in the air, and it's just kind of like a waste of there you go. Perfect. It's kind of like a waste of ultimate. And that's it. It's fairly simple. Like I said, I know it seems easy, and it is easy. You just gotta understand some of the basics, and I'll go over it in a bit. I'll explain, you know, kind of the process again, just to reiterate everything. So that way it all makes sense. But yeah, that's how you pass Ultron, usually gold. It's fairly simple. A lot of Odin marks. I still have the Odin boost. Yeah, I have two, about 7 minutes, so perfect timing actually. Hero combinations. And the good thing about this is that when you do Ultron, this is why one of my favorite raids, because it's short, simple, and it can be quick, but sometimes it gives you good stuff. The best thing is you want to get his artifacts, which I did not get his artifacts. I did get uniques though, so this is one good way to get your unique. Maybe not the best way to get it, but it's a good way. Let me see here. Key to the city. You get a bunch of these. They're not that great to be honest, but some people like them. The only reason, but another reason why I like Ultron Raid is because it's artifacts, but also too, the medallion's really good too, especially if you're energy based, like Iceman, Magneto, any character with energy is perfect. Perfect medallion for you. So let me kind of go over everything once again. She can kind of give you some pointers again as far as how to play with Ultron, how to pass Ultron, getting gold.
Your combined force. But I must ask, do you think it an accident that I focused here? Do you not?
Let me go here. And kind of go over it again. I know it's kind of quick. It's kind of a weird guide and tip. It's kind of hard to give you guys some tip and pointers while I'm actually playing and recording at the same time. So just to reiterate again what how to do Ultron, it's very simple. First thing you want to do is go to the tab section, go to the party chat, LFG, look for a group, and then just ask people if if anyone wants to invite you for a party, or ask them if you want to if they want to get invited to Ultron. It's very simple, very similar to Limbo, which is either if you want to get invited, just type in INV, and then Ultron. Or sometimes people call them Goldtron, because if you notice, there's like different waves, and if you defeat a wave at a certain time, you get gold. Hence why some people call it gold. So if you want to get invited, just type in INV, which stands for invite, Ultron or Goldtron. Or you can say looking for, let's just say you and your friend already have someone, so there's just two of you, then you can say looking for 3M, the M stands for more, 3 more Goldtron or Ultron, whatever you want to put it. And then after that, once you have a party, there you go. That's the first step I would recommend. Do you have to be in a party? No. But as long as, the reason why I suggest doing a party, because that way, in case the party is doing very well and you guys get all Goldtron and everyone wants to do it again, perfect. Then you're already in a party. All you have to do is go to Waypoint and re-enter Ultron Raid. And I've done it quite a few times. I think there's one time we did it about 4 times in a row, because we just did them so quick and easy that we were getting all of us were getting his medallion, cosmic, or getting his good artifacts. So again, sometimes it's beneficial to be in a party. But if not, don't worry about it. All you have to do is go to waypoint, go to the Age of Ultron, and then just click warp to location, and it'll automatically add you to a party, already to a raid. But anyways, once you're in the raid, again, the first wave, what you want to do is go to the exclamation point, hit tab, and so you map. Go to the exclamation point. So let's say there's an exclamation point here. Defeat the shield by doing damage to the shield, and then after that, defeat that one Ultron that's like a shiny. Once you defeat that Ultron, get the white orbs, and each orb consists of 100. So you need 3,000. So you want to keep moving around, kind of like I showed you guys. So you want to keep moving around looking for those exclamation points. If there's none, my advice is just defeat some of those Ultrons, because every Ultron you defeat, it's also, it counts as well too. It adds up to your 30,000 count that you have to do. So keep that in mind. So if you're playing and if you don't see any of those exclamation points, don't worry, just destroy some Ultrons. If you see a bunch of Ultrons, which I did, I used my signature. I did a lot of area damage and it defeated a lot of them, and then increased again the points up to get the 3,000 to get that gold. So if you don't see any exclamation points, you can still do damage to other Ultrons, but the key thing is go to those Ultrons. Now in that particular raid, if you go to the park where you showed you and some other location which is almost towards the baseball field-ish area, again, if you play Ultron, you'll see what I mean. If you defeat all the enemies, I think with a certain amount of seconds, you can get a bunch of those white orbs. I believe you get like 15 of those. I'm not too sure. Don't quote me on it, but you get a lot of them. So in this run, I didn't get them, but I've had in the past where I've destroyed those Ultrons in the park, and you get a bunch of those white orbs. So once you pass those orbs, then what you do is go to that one designated area, hit tab, go to the EMP, defeat those Ultrons, and then from there the EMP will drop, activate it, and you have within about 2 minutes or so to protect the EMP to get 100%. And as I stated, it's always good to split it up, someone bottom, top, left, right, and then have one center kind of going around, just helping each other out. But once you hit the 80% mark, start making sure you are doing as much high DPS, damage per second, because I notice it usually gets harder, and then once you get to 95%, that's when you definitely want to protect the AMP, because I have seen it where I'm doing very well, or we're doing very well, and then once it hits the 95%, 97, 98, out of nowhere, it goes all the way down to like 40%, and so, luckily we were able to get gold, but it was a bit scary because it was really close. I think we had like 2 seconds left, and then we got gold, but keep that in mind. Once you hit the 9% mark, make sure that you're close to that EMP, and just if you have a signature that does a lot of area damage, I would suggest, kind of like with Hawkeye, is activate your signature on the EMP. That way any enemies around that EMP can receive damage and possibly even kill them. That way you can protect the EMP. So that's that. The second tip I would give is when you're doing the waves, the third wave, which is defeating those Iron Legions. The first one's simple. Be careful with those missiles, but you should be fine. The second Iron Legion is simply just a lot of flames. Just be careful with that because it does a lot of damage over time. So if you have low health, be careful with that. The third one is probably the most hardest one. Legion, because he gets into a shield, and then when he's in that shield, you cannot do any damage. And then when he's in that shield, he kind of does like a shield burst, which does a lot of damage, regardless of any character, regardless how your build is set up. That burst from that Iron Legion does a huge damage to you. So keep that in mind. Even my tanks that I have, my Colossus, when I get hit by that shield burst, it literally drains your health. So keep that in mind. So my advice is, if you're playing that specific Iron Legion and he goes into his shield, and let's say pretend this is the Iron Legion, he goes into his shield, my advice is stay away. Meanwhile, you can recuperate spirit or whatever, because he's in that within that shield for I think like 3 or 4 seconds, and so just stay away, because even if you try to do damage when he's in that shield, he cannot do anything. It's invulnerable. So, and then once you defeat the Iron Legion, the fourth one is fairly simple. When he goes up in the air, when you're gonna do a lot of air damage, just kind of stay between those two red marks. You see what I mean? But when you play, but just stay between those marks, the safe areas. Defeat that Iron Legion. It's pretty simple. And the last Iron Legion, again, is very simple. When he starts doing those lasers, when he starts going in circles, counterclockwise, and he uses lasers to the side of them. They don't do too much damage, but you should be fine if you have decent gear. You should be fine. And last but not least, Ultron. Again, it's very, very simple. Just make sure you activate your ultimate before the timer gets that 135 mark left. Meaning before you have 1 minute and 35 seconds left on the clock, activate your Ultron. If it's 135 and if you not activated your ultimate, don't even activate it until after he comes down. Because if you activate it around the 135 mark, and let's just say he does go up in the air 135, then you just kind of wasted an ultimate. So my advice is, whenever you can, activate your ultimate before the 135, and then after he goes up and he comes down, use your ultimate right away. And then that's really it. That's kind of like what Dr. Doom did. As soon as Ultron came down from being in the air, Dr. Doom activated his ultimate right away. That's perfect. That's another good timing as well too. And if you do that, you should be fine. And the reason why I made this video is because of some people have been asking me regarding how to do Ultron. They're afraid of doing it. They don't want to be the one member who's kind of holding back the team. So I figured I'd make you guys a video as far as kind of give you some tips and pointers, as well as show you how to do Ultron. Again, it's fairly simple, not that complicating. You just got to go for it, and once you kind of try it, maybe the second time you'll get it, and it becomes second nature to where you know what to do. And yeah, that's it, you guys. Again, this is just some tips and pointers as far as how to pass Ultron raid. It's very simple, and I've been doing it quite a few times, so I'm not saying I'm an expert, but again, this is just some kind of tips and pointers, and I guess you can say a guide as far as how to pass Ultron and get gold. It's fairly simple, not that hard. I mean, you can always go to the look for group, and you should be fine. I looked at, it's kind of mean of me to say, but I looked at everyone's when I invited people, I looked at everyone's build. They're decently built. I think 2 individuals were pretty, really, really, really good builds. Everyone else was not bad. It was just to get by, and they're not bad. My build isn't the best either too. My build is okay, but again, you don't really have to have the most heavy modified build. Just as long as you have decent build, decent items, and you understand the concept and premise as far as how to play the Ultron raid, you should be easy. You should be passing it easily, no problems. Alrighty guys, again, if you have any questions, please leave it in the comment section below. Any requests for certain videos, leave it in the comment section below. If you want to see more videos of mine, or you want to be up to date with my videos, please do hit the subscribe button, because not only does it help the channel out, but it means a lot to me as well too. So hopefully this video was helpful for you guys regarding the Ultron raid. Again, not that hard, but I figured I'd make a video showing you guys how I usually play and what I usually do, and give you some tips and pointers. Alrighty, and that's my video for Ultron raid, so hopefully you enjoyed it. Alrighty, up to the next one.